At the end of the day, people will talk. It's always the non-entrepreneurs. Not everything requires a response. Get to know yourself. Try new things. Take yourself on walks. Take yourself on hikings. Welcome to Season 2, Episode 1. I can't believe I'm actually saying that. Thank you for viewing, wherever you're listening. If you've been vibing with me since Season 1, thank you. If you're new here, welcome. This is a very safe space. I communicate my experiences, my life events, the things that I've experienced as a young adult and still learning. But do not take everything I say as gospel because everyone has their own opinions on different things. So I'm just sharing my views. But if you want to trash it out in the comments, sure. You go ahead. Adam's Apple is actually streamed on YouTube for the first time. We've been streaming before on Apple's podcast and on Spotify and other audio podcasts, but this is the very first time we're here on YouTube. So this is a big move for me. So let's have a little celebration. So many of you may be wondering, where have you been, David? You've been missing. Yes, I know I've been missing from YouTube. I've been missing from podcasting, but bro, life happened and, growth happened and so many different things happened in between, but we're still here, okay? Great. Now listen, today's topic is a very personal one, that we're going to be talking about. We're talking surviving in your 20s. Surviving in your 20s, bro. Listen, when I was younger, I thought that my 20s would be this magical aspect of my life where I have every single thing figured out. I was supposed to be married at 25, bro. I was supposed to have a car. Well, I have the car, but I was supposed to own my own houses before 30, okay? But we're surviving in our 20s. We're supposed to be thriving in our 20s and we're here surviving. But there's certain things that not everyone tells you. The grown-ups, they don't tell you. They just leave you. You experience it on your own and you're expected to figure it out. So in this episode, I am breaking down the reality of your 20s, the good, the bad, the confusing, to help you navigate this chaotic but beautiful decade. First things first, your 20s. I see it as one big messy experiment, and there's no step-by-step guide on how to handle adulthood. And that's the part that really gets me. Like, no one tells you you're going to lose friends and it's normal. No one tells you that you will outgrow places, people, and even your old self. No one tells you you're going to feel lost at some point. You're going to make big mistakes. And sometimes success feels like a step forward and 5 steps backward. When I was 22, I had this crazy idea that I needed to have everything figured out as soon as possible. I needed to find the perfect job. I needed to find the perfect relationship, the perfect body. Lies, all lies from the pit of hell. Listen, the truth is, I think your 20s are for figuring things out, for falling in love, out of love, for failing, for trying new things, and just really learning who you are. But over the past years, I have learned so much. I am in my late 20s, and so there's a few things that really resonates with me that I definitely share. The first thing that really hit home to me after having conversations with tons of other young people is that no one actually has it all figured out. Even the people that seem as though they have all things figured out, they do not. We are all just winging it, taking chances, taking risks. And that's the beautiful thing about your 20s. Taking risk, figuring it out, seeing what works and what doesn't work. And don't you dare look at people on social media and it seems as though they have it all together. Social media will lie to you. Lie to you. You see people traveling, you see people buying houses, getting kids, making 6 figures, and you'll feel behind. Like, I'm just buying coffee every single day. My business isn't doing too well. blah, blah, blah. I'm losing friends. Yeah, that's you figuring it out, and that's okay. Guess what? No one really knows, you know, what they're actually doing. Luckily, some of us have really good people and support systems that guides us based on their experiences. That's why for me, most of my friends are persons that are older than I am, in their 30s or so on, because people my age are figuring it out as well. And so I usually relate to my friends that are older who would tell me, bro, this didn't happen this way for me. Bro, I think you should navigate in this particular aspect. And I really appreciate them. The second hard truth that I've actually learned recently is that, friendships will change and that's okay. And one of the hardest lessons that I've had to learn to myself is that not everyone is meant to stay in your life forever. People grow in different directions. Your real friends will grow with you, not against you. I feel when it comes to friendships in your 20s, like, because everyone is figuring it out, and because some people are on different levels, different mindset, different experiences they've had, in their lives, we all just relate to each other differently based on these different things. And it is okay when a particular friendship didn't work out the way that you wanted it to work out. Not everyone is at the mature level to really deal with certain things, and not everyone has the grace or gives their other friendships the grace, to make mistakes, or they have the grace to forgive. And the funny thing is that we don't even give our friends the grace to forgive, the grace to make mistakes, but we run to God daily asking for grace, asking for mercy and favor and for forgiveness. But we can't even do the same for our friends, you know. And that's a whole different topic, but not everyone is on the same level and maturity that, you're on, and that's okay. Friends don't work out, friends move on, you outgrow people, you outgrow places, people move on with their lives, get busy, starts families, get serious about their relationship, get serious about their education, and it's nothing personal. Please don't take it personal. People just the same way you're just trying to figure life out, they're doing the same. And it is okay. If it is meant to be, it will be. All things work together for good to them that love the Lord. I got you in a little Bible scripture. And that's my favorite one, Romans 8:28. The next thing I've really learned, and I've learned the hard way, is that rejection will humble you, but it's not the end of the world. Some of us are accustomed to getting things all the time. And the minute we hear a no cry, tears. Are you a spoiled child? What's wrong with you? The minute you get a rejection, you start to run in your shell. In your 20s, you will get rejected. You will get rejected from the relationship. You will get rejected from the job. You will get rejected from various opportunities that you really thought that, was necessary for you. But just note, it's not the end of the world. I think rejection, in my humblest opinion, it really sometimes redirects you. I've had tons of rejections along the way of this thing called life, and it really shifts my mindset and perspectives on tons of different things. I remember being rejected twice for dental school. Here I am, a dentist. I remember being rejected for, what was the other thing? This relationship, because I wasn't she type, I too short, yada yada yada, my teeth crooked, but hey, got a bag and fix my teeth. But on a serious note, rejection isn't always a no, it's just a redirection. And sometimes God allows the rejection because you're not ready for it in this particular season of your life. Because sometimes we want the blessing, but we don't have the character to sustain the blessing. Ooh. But rejection isn't always a no. And I believe sometimes God allows the rejections in our lives because we're not ready in the season to sustain what is to come. Most of the times we want the blessing, but we don't have the character to sustain that blessing or to sustain that thing that we're running after. Sometimes we're praying and we're applying for all these jobs and all these different things. You're applying to be the manager, but do you have the character of a manager to lead the team well? Are you humble? Do you have self control? Do you speak with kindness to people? And so sometimes, if you're not going to humble yourself, then God humbles you. The rejection occurs. It's not the end of the world. You'll be okay. Keep knocking on more doors. One of them will open. The one that's meant for you in that season will open. But do not ever take rejection as a no. It's just redirection. The next hard truth that I really had to sit and take time to do was realize that healing is your responsibility. Healing is my responsibility. No one is going to come, to your rescue and heal you. Everyone has their own healing to do. If you don't deal with your childhood traumas, your past wounds, or your toxic habits, then listen, they'll follow you in every single job. They will follow you in every relationship and every opportunity. Healing is hard, but it's necessary because what you find when you don't go through, the process of healing, then of course you lash out easily. You get angrily easily, and it affects so much different things. When you don't deal with your childhood wounds or your toxic habits, people run from you. And I've learned this the hard way. I can share a personal story where, I was back in the past. I, of course, wasn't really comfortable with a few things about myself. I didn't really find my true identity. And so I lied, just to protect an image. I covered things up. I tried to please every single one. I was a people pleaser, such a people pleaser, bro. And it's until I really, you know, one, found, a really good relationship with God and went through healing and really understood what I was doing was hurting people because, of course, they left. They didn't even give me a chance to, you know, explain, which, of course, you don't have to always over explain yourself. You deal with you, heal, forgive, move on. But what I'm trying to say is sometimes your childhood wounds can affect others, and not everyone knows how to really deal with that. And yeah, you just have to really just deal with it. And so my advice would be spend some time to first of all know exactly what is the trauma that you're dealing with. What exactly triggers you? What exactly makes you feel hurt? What exactly makes you feel like you're in a box again? What wounds are open? Confront them. Confront, confront, confront. No, like seriously, that's usually a hard topic to talk about, but it's okay. It's okay. So I'm gonna hold your hands and say, we're all going through it. We're all just trying to navigate life. We all have some healing to deal with, and you'll be fine. But one, confront them. Two, it's okay. It's really not your fault that you went through what you've been through, and you were just trying to protect yourself in the past by doing your toxic habits. I hope you change, though. I hope you're learning. Because if you keep coming with this toxic trait constantly, then, friend, you have a problem. We gotta take you to the pastor or something. Cause, kidding, no. Find yourself with people who really cares and loves you and have the grace to help you heal. Cause yeah, sometimes that's what you actually need, just support. And the last truth that I really had to swallow is that listen, not a soul cares as much as you think they do. No one really thinks much on your whereabouts. I mean, of course, there's those monitoring spirits and those vampires that are out there just watching and looking and waiting for you for your downfall, you know. But that's just life. You pray and do your thing, you'll be fine. But no one cares as much as you think they do. The embarrassing thing you did, listen, time is gonna just go. They're gonna forget about it. This too shall pass. Yeah, the time you failed, not everyone's going to remember that. You will remember it, but not everyone's going to remember it. And you're replaying it in your head, But trust me, people move on fast. People move on fast. Something happens in life and people move on. And then it becomes a joke, you know. So stop overthinking every single thing and just live. Just live. At the end of the day, people will talk, especially if they have nothing constructive happening in their life. It's always the non entrepreneurs, it's always the, you know how it goes. So just let people be, let people talk. Not everything requires a response. Sometimes you being silent is a response. And if you know that you've been giving your best and that you've been trying, then that's enough. Take it to the Lord in prayer and you just ignore, post your content, give your speech, go on your trip, love on your man, love on your girl. You do your thing. You don't worry with what people say. I mean, of course, you need to know what to put out there and what not to put out there because the internet is very messy out there, very crazy. So you may be wondering, you know, how exactly do we now thrive in our 20s after hearing all the struggles? Of course, I've just given you 5 hard truths that no one tells you. But how do we actually strive in our 20s? Number 1 on my list, give yourself permission to pivot, to change. You do not have to stick to one path. Change careers if you have to, move to a new city, start over if you need as much as you want. Life is about evolving. And sometimes the plans that you have aren't always the plan that God has. So if you're a believer, if you believe in God, you know, then of course you know that all things work together for good. That's my favorite scripture for real. But sometimes we have this whole thing in our head where it must go this particular way. Oh, in order for me to get here, I must do this based on what people are saying. What works for Tom will not work for you. In your 20s, sometimes you feel like you want to change careers. I've had that many times. I mean, yeah, you've been studying 5 years to be a dentist, 4, 6, 8 years to be a lawyer, to, do business management. But sometimes your passion just starts to change as you experience different things in life. And it's okay. I mean, seek wise counsel before just changing your careers, of course, you know? But if you feel like this is the direction that needs to be done, bro, change the career. It's okay. And just once you have a good plan and you have people supporting you and a wise counsel telling you, you know, this is the right move, etc., then fine. Go ahead, make the move. You feel like you want to move to a new city? Move. You can always move back home. I remember when I moved to Manchester, it was so hard because in the UK it's very cold, and I remember the second week I was crying, not crying because of course it's too hard, but I was like, what am I doing? Did I make the right move? And you will have the anxiety, you will have the fear, but at least if you've moved or you've did the career or you've made the switch or made a particular change, at least you tried it. And so you will never ever be like, oh, I wish I had done this, or I wish I moved here, or I wish I did this. Give it a try. Take a risk. Sometimes taking risk leads to beautiful destinations. So take the risk. Second way you can actually strive is build a relationship with yourself and with God. Now, you're the only person you're stuck with forever. When you're home alone and your thoughts start playing, it's you and your thoughts. So take the time to really understand, who you are, what you like. Take yourself on dates. I love going on personal movie dates, coffee dates. I've been to like about 23 solo coffee dates ever since I'm here in Manchester, and beautiful because the coffee shops here are amazing. I love it, the vibe and everything. And I just people watch, drink my coffee or my matcha, and I just would jot things on that I like about myself. Get to know yourself. Get to know, the type of people that you like, that you're interested in, the type of coffees that you're that you like. Try new things. Take yourself on walks, take yourself on hikings, call that old friend. Do the most. Set aside time to really prioritize yourself. It's very important because if you just keep working and working and working and then you're not taking the time to rest, then it just affects the way that you work and the way that you function. So take care of yourself. It's one of the best ways to thrive in your 20s. To actually thrive, the third thing that I totally recommend is learn how to budget. Learn how to budget. Just do it. I had a problem spending. I spent a lot, especially ever since I started earning and making money as a dentist. I just started spending because I like nice things. I like expensive things. Yeah, I have a very expensive taste, and to ensure that I always have money to support my expensive journey, because I will always have expensive journey and expensive taste, and I'm not gonna change it. But in order to ensure that of course, have a balanced life, you're still enjoying the things you like, you're still being able to pay rent, still being able to look after your family, and also, of course, support school, etc., and yourself, you have to really budget well. Just get a journal. Like I have a journal, and I would just budget, my expenses, the needs, the wants, etc. There's tons of budget apps, and listen to financial podcast. And there's cool guys. Matthew Gall, he does his financial podcasting, and my brother Mikhail McKenzie, who talks on wallet wisdom. Listen to those guys. They talk tons of things on budgeting. So in your 20, if you want to strive, you have to invest in making time to budget. And by the way, check out my brothers, their podcasting, their page, their social media. Tons of wealth and financial wisdom that you can get from them. Future you will thank you if you start learning how to manage your money now. If I had only known in primary school, instead of buying candy and cigarette candy, I would be investing in land. I would be saving me little $20 and $100 every day that I used to get buying chicken foot and egg ball. Yo, egg ball was $100 back in them days, boy. But I would have saved them by a land. Kid you not. The fourth thing to actually strive in your 20s is to protect your energy like it's gold. Not everyone deserves access to you, and it is important that you set boundaries, cut off toxicity, say no without guilt. And note, people will do that to you as well, and that is fine. The man gotta do what they gotta do. Everybody gotta do what they gotta do. So don't take it personal. You should do the same. If it's necessary, cut people off. If it's necessary, say no. Stop being a yes man. That was me. I was such a yes man. Every single thing, yes, yes, yes. Everything, cup, not my face got to show. Me, David Adams, in everything. But then when I realized that I really need to protect my energy like it's gold, then my yes became expensive. And I only gave it out to those who needed it and those who would help me to fuel my energy again. Because there's those energy vampires that just sucks your energy, negatively. So invest in your energy, or rather protect your energy like it's gold. And lastly, your 20s aren't just about getting somewhere, it's about enjoying the journey. Enjoy the process. Enjoy the process of becoming. Enjoy the process, not just the destination. Grow, learn, move. Celebrate the small wins. Romanticize your life. Take the content. Laugh more. Video yourself doing crazy things. It is okay. You're not looking stupid. 10 years time from now, you look back at those stuff, you smile. Because you get to see your growth when you record your stuff. You get to reminisce on the things that you've done. Don't you just run to reach a particular destination. Enjoy the process. And the thing is, time flies really fast. I can't believe that I've graduated from dental school 5 years ago, approximately 5 years ago. Time flies fast. I remember doing exams the other day, but I'm happy that I actually made a time with my colleagues to go on the class trip to, record ourselves during exam period. Yeah, just enjoy the progress. Whew, that was a lot. But I hope that you feel seen, that you feel heard, and that you know that you are not in this thing alone. We're all just navigating in our 20s. We're learning, and it is okay to ask for help in your 20s. Before we wrap things up, I just want to leave this scripture with you, and it's Jeremiah 29:11. Most of you know it. It says, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a future and of hope." And so, in navigating your 20s, it is fine when you feel like you're on a roller coaster ride. Just know that God got you and everything is held together in His hands. You just need to be diligent, take risk by faith, and be confident in yourself. Block out the noises and go forward boldly, knowing that you got this. Note that there is purpose in every mess and your future is bright. Your mess can turn to a message. So keep going, trust the process, and just know that you're right where you need to be. So here's my challenge for you this week. Write down one thing that you're proud of yourself for doing in your 20s. It could be something big, something small, but I just want you to acknowledge your growth. If this episode spoke to you in so many different ways, then DM me on my Instagram. Follow me on Instagram at I_am_David_Adams, and let me know what so far are your biggest lessons you've learned in your 20s. And if there's any of the things that I've mentioned here that you want to add to, you can do so in the comments. If there's anything that you've learned or that you really like that I mention it. Share, interact with the page. Subscribe if you haven't to all platforms so that you never miss any of the content that I post. We will be posting weekly, every Saturday, and stay tuned for updates on my TikTok, on my Instagram, on all my platforms. Next week, we're talking on how to set boundaries with your parents and live your own life respectfully. But that's it for today. Thanks for watching and listening. Take care of yourself, be kind to yourself, and remember, you're doing better than you think you are. See you next time.